You have been well trained.
No.
You don't have to carry a sword to be powerful.
I won't fail you.
Oh, do not.
I'm not afraid.
There is no try.
All right, everybody, we are back. We have the top four here. The people have spoken. Actually, I don't think the people have spoken. Nick just hasn't left his seat. So he is here. Ruben is taking the game off, but Andrew is here to continue to join us to provide some insightful commentary because we all know that doesn't come from me.
We all have our the benefits we bring.
Well, thank you.
This would not be here without you, so we appreciate it.
Thanks. I appreciate that as well. So, of course, Nick is here with his eTalzin eDooku deck that he's been piloting all weekend to the top of Swiss in his day, as well as going so far. Well, he's still here. So, what do you think about this matchup? Who's got the upper hand now that we've seen? We saw Snoke in the last round, but this time paired with Aphra and a battle droid.
Yeah, so it's going to be a little different. It's going to be more combo-y based on the droid's synergy with Aphra. This is the deck that Nick took to top 4 at Gen Con, so he is absolutely very familiar with it. I think based on that, I think the slight edge just has to go with Nick. I know I was talking to Drew, and he said he's never played eTalzin before. This is going to be his first time playing against the matchup. So Nick was definitely prepped for this deck, knows the deck. You have to give the slight edge to him. He's also been on fire all day, so you can never argue with that.
There is that. The chat, of course, has a question. What does Nick grammar is challenging. What is he looking for in his first hand aside from opening his 4-speed?
So I think in such a heavy 3-wide meta against any 3-wide deck, he definitely wants to try to get the Force Wave online as long as possible. Although I think the Ancient Lightsaber is probably a pretty close second.
Mm-hmm.
So 4-speed, probably a couple removal, and then yeah, definitely his getting those evens out of the deck too is really good. So Ancient 4-speed and then a removal or two is definitely I think his ideal starting in. It's pretty nice based on his deck. Like, he's pretty flexible. There's not a lot he doesn't want to see. So it makes his mulligans pretty solid. And he can pretty confidently pitch 5 cards back, which you've seen him do multiple times, and still know that he's going to have a decent hand.
Mm-hmm.
We do see a BT1 coming down in round 1. That is part 1 of the droid combo for Aphra. So that's a huge start. It's going to let him get his draw engine online with the indirect getting dealt on the activation for BT. Just let him churn through the deck, which is one of the big advantages they have. I think Nick's big goal here is going to try to make sure that there's no Snoke power action.
So going in for some early damage on Aphra with the range sides off of Talzin. Snoke rolling in, rolling the 2 disrupt on each die.
Yeah, I don't think that's what Drew was looking for there.
Most likely not.
The flex coming out is deciding whether he wants to do the battle droid or the Talzin. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for the battle droid to force Drew to spend his resource for 1 extra damage. All right, he's going to chew this Talzin into her. So Nick does hit one of the 3 evens left in the deck on the Talzin activation, although her showing 1-1 isn't, terribly upsetting for him.
The indirect damage on BT, always nice to see these droids doing some damage action as they come out. Of course, Drew would prefer to get 000 out as soon as he can, but...
Yeah. So did he use the power action on the battle droid? That's what it looks like?
Yes.
And then I would assume the 1 indirect from BT went on that battle droid. Okay, so Drew does not have a power action token, so we'll try to keep track of that as much as possible. Someone get that Mana Hyperloop's power action token. Nick, you have one. Isn't there some chance Q power action tokens?
I could probably give him one.
Listen, man.
I know.
Branding.
Nice.
Yeah, Climate Disruption is definitely not going to be super useful in this match. He already has the BT to trigger his draws, so with the amount of damage Nick's able to put out, it's going to really pressure his own life total. Okay, so it looks like chat's saying the Boba Fett. I thought that would just be a shield token, but I'm guessing that's what he uses for the power action.
Well, there you go.
So there we go. Thank you, chat. You guys were useful.
Sometimes.
For once. Alright, so 6 damage going down into Drew's board early onto the non-Snoke characters. Nick only taking 4. And that's actually through the shield, so it looks like a total of 8 damage done by Nick. Is that true? Not sure how that would be possible. Yeah.
The joys of doing this at a wargaming convention.
Yeah, seriously.
Where everyone likes to scream. One of the Destiny players is going to come together with a battle cry that we do at one of these things.
I am strongly against battle cries.
I think as a community we probably all are.
So it looks like Mike was just trolling me, and apparently the shield Boba was an actual shield token. So he does not have a power action token. So Nick did take that off.
I'm glad even you get trolled. Well,
Mike's clearly no longer my favorite. I'm all on the Nick bandwagon now.
Yeah, I think everyone's on the Nick bandwagon at this point.
That's absolutely true. He's the people's champion. So it looks like Dangerous Maneuver going to come out, going to move 2 damage over to his Battle Droid off of Aphra, allowing him to draw another card. Looks like that was just a claim out of Nick and then a pass, so we're moving on to round 2. A lot of damage on that round.
Perhaps this one will not be as lengthy as the previous round was.
Yeah,
I mean, if it is, it is, and that's fine. We'll take a dinner break or something. No, we won't. We'll just keep going all the way until midnight.
All the way till there's a final.
Which would be after this one. One winner.
Only be one. All right, so he does get the force speed down, which is going to be really big. Force speed allows him to activate Dooku and protect his dice. Oh no, that Hailfire coming down on round 2 is going to be big though. Hellfire is so good. Yeah, this start is absolutely massive for Drew. Getting the BT, the tech team, and the Hailfire down, and only really having damage on his Battle Droid. Nick's going to be forced pretty much just to snipe off the Battle Droid, out of convenience mostly. Well, this is a pretty big board state for Drew. Definitely advantage him right now.
Nick's taking some time to decide which of his eTalzin dying he's rotating and into what. Finally settling on the 2 range.
Yeah, wondering. I guess he has no. He does have resources, so I'm wondering if he's looking for an all-in play here, leaving the focus up. That could be a massive 6 damage from a eDooku die plus the Ancient. For 8, that would actually kill eTalzin. If he does have the all-in here, he has lethal. I mean, not eTalzin. Sorry, Aphra. He is showing lethal on Aphra right now with an all-in in hand. So BT activating again, getting 1 on the Battle Droid, so that leaves the Battle Droid at 1. And if Nick is able to snipe both Aphra and Battle Droid here, that would be a huge, huge swing. That 5th damage on the battle droid also will turn off the Snoke power action. So that's only available to Aphra right now. Second Ancient comes down. That's going to turn off the all-in play I was talking about earlier, now with Nick not having any resources. But the Alpha can still be massive off the Dooku roll.
He's leaving that 4-speed special out there. Almost tempting.
It's hard, man. It's something that you don't really want to waste mitigation on unless you have another mitigation. Because if you only have one mitigation, it's pointless to use it on the 4-speed die. Because now you're not protecting from anything. Massive probe coming out from Drew. This could hit some really key cards in Nick's hand. Leaving with no removal and then a massive turn coming out from Drew. Oof. That Witch Magic.
Force Illusion.
I'm going to discard one there. The Force Illusion is nice to have, but no resources to play it.
Going ahead and taking the 2 range, so still leaving that 4-speed special out.
That leaves Aphra at 6 and in real danger of dying here on the Dooku activation. Nick's still having to focus. He knows Drew has no resources, so the mitigation will be limited. +3 is good.
Something to pair it with? Well, of course, Dooku can fix that.
Oh, double blank on Dooku. 1 damage side on Dooku there would have been lethal for him. Good thing here is, though, off the focus. Even if Drew has something like a He Doesn't Like You, he still has the focus on eTalzin. We'll see how Nick plays this.
He pulls the 5 in Aphra that will shut out Snoke.
Absolutely. So no Snoke for the rest of the game. That's really huge. He didn't get one off this round. And Nick is just putting out a ton of damage.
Snoke rolling into a bunch of focus, which maybe too little too late at this point. Indirect damage.
We'll see if Drew's able to somehow trade Dooku here for his other 2 characters. He's going to be in a really good spot. Although it's going to be really hard with only showing indirect damage right now, and with the 2 Ancients on Dooku, it's going to be hard to get through him. But Drew really needs to kill a character and get something off the board right now this turn. So he's going to put maximum pressure with just all the indirect, showing 8 indirect now.
Get rid of Aphra.
That's a good kill there. That saves him 2 damage. See where he places all of this, though. I think Nick's going to have to win next round. I think just with the amount of pressure Drew's putting on him with the amount of damage showing, I think Nick's got about 1 more round of health left in him. Unless he's able to find like a second Witch Magic. This game is actually going way quicker than it originally did in the last round. Looks like Drew got the claim there.
Drew got the claim, of course. Nick using the extra the rest of the round to grab that resource, put that Force Illusion down. Protect Dooku a little bit longer, and that may be the time that he needs to survive this round to get the damage out to shut down Drew. Drew only with the Hellfire droid tank out as his big damage dealer at this point in time. May not be enough, but we'll see.
Yeah, he stalled out a little bit, not finding anything after finding the VT in round 1. Just getting the Hellfire down. This Pod Racer is going to be able to do 1 indirect, which is really annoying. For free off the tech team. This kind of deck, you actually don't hate when the Pod Racer hits the blink, because it bounces back to your hand, you can play it again for another free indirect. So it's basically just you're worry-free when you have the Hellfire out. But Drew's just putting a ton of indirect pressure on Nick. He's going to soon learn or run out of places to put that damage. The illusion really helps. That is lethal on Aphra on the board, though. Or sorry, eTalzin. See if Nick has an answer. Looking through the discard is not a good sign that he has an answer. I can tell you.
You don't look through the discard when
when you have an obvious play. I think he might have a spell removal, which is why he's looking for it. Yep, he's trying to see how many evens he has left in the deck. There's 2. Okay. I don't know if you saw, but last game there was 1 ancient left in the deck, and he spell removaled with lethal showing on eTalzin.
I saw the chat explode. I was like, what happened?
Yeah.
Man, okay.
He paid a resource, discarded 2 cards, and still had eTalzin back. It was not a good turn. All right, so that saves lethal on Aphra or on eTalzin for a little bit longer. That's a big die off the table in that Hellfire Droid. It's not a ton more direct damage that Drew has, so he's able to really soak up a lot of damage on that Force Illusion. BT's the only thing on the table right now that can do direct damage outside the Battle Droid 1, which would not be enough.
Another pod racer coming down.
One more indirect from the Hellfire ability.
Boom. Yep.
Yeah, so 2 wasn't... I guess, yeah, 3 to 2 isn't a really big breakpoint since the dice on the table that can do direct damage is 1 and 3. So being at 2 isn't really a big difference from being at 3. So that makes a lot of sense.
Got the 1 indirect on the battle droid, so that's...
Yeah, I think Nick might just run out of time. Like, there's just so much pressure from the indirect damage.
Take another moment to figure out which of these dies, really wants.
Yeah, it's a really hard decision to make. You know that these decks, like that focus on the force speed is so valuable. But since these decks run such little mitigation, it's really hard to know, what you should value higher than others.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like he does go for the damage, leaves the focus on the force speed, which is going to be really valuable after eDooku rolls out. Nick does have possible lethal with the dice he has on the board right now. His max damage is 13. He only needs to do 12. All right, one more indirect is going to put eTalzin at 1, which is a little surprising because now that BT 1X could kill him. Okay, he's going to put damage into Snoke. I think Nick's looking for the win this round. I think he has to. It's really going to be hard for him to survive until the end of this round. And still be able to get a kill next round.
Yeah, awesome.
I think he needs to be able to put either kill Snoke or kill the battle droid and put Snoke down to somewhere in like the 2 to 3 range health, and then look to get a first activation next round kill. This is really going to come down to the amount of removal both players have. All right, so Nick choosing to take the resource, I think in favor of having some of his removal online and just trying to survive the turn. I think it'd be really hard for him to survive the turn without some removal. So going to be looking just to put as much damage into Snoke as possible and then looking to win early next round. This is a monster board for Drew, though. Adding those 2 pod racers after the last 2 rounds is really huge for him.
Dooku rolling on.
That is a
That's a good roll.
massive roll.
It's a good roll. And of course, Dooku fixes that one die he didn't like, so we're looking at 7 total damage.
Yeah, choosing to go with the 2s instead of the 3s to keep his resources available to play his removal and try to survive. Because Nick's got to survive this round.
Absolutely. Sorry, emptying the trash apparently or something.
We're refilling the water
Oh, refilling the water jugs, yes.
Very important to keep our players hydrated.
Very important. Or those who are watching in the atrium, which apparently is much warmer than it is in the room itself. Not really sure why.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely advantage Drew right now on board state, but it's not unwinnable for Nick. He's just got to survive. That's going to be
harder to survive.
Yeah. So he's choosing to kill off his battle droid with the BT indirect. I'm not sure I agree with that. Dooku is not in danger of dying right here. And having that extra 1 health on the battle droid makes it really awkward for Nick to kill, especially if eTalzin dies. That means he's going to have to waste, either get a 1 on the Ancient or waste a 2 to kill the battle droid. That's an interesting decision. The illusion does come down on Snoke. I guess I missed that. Which is going to be really make it hard for Nick to break through. But it's a really interesting decision on the BT activation. If RP means relentless pursuit, there is a 1 of. So that could be huge to get through the illusion, actually. That's a good call. There's only 1 in the deck, but that would be a massive blowout if he's able to get Dooku. So relentless pursuit, for everyone who doesn't know, it moves 2 damage from one of your opponent's characters to another character. So you can just move 2 of the eTalzin damage over to Dooku, and that ignores shields and force illusion. Yeah, so Nick's choosing not to resolve the +3 on the illusion, which would just get discarded anyways, and it looks like he's probably going to focus to either another resource or just the 1 damage to really maximize his damage. Actually taking the shield to try to stay alive. That makes a lot of sense. He's got to live. He's got to stay alive here. That actually saves... Did he all in? Oh, he all in. Okay. So that saves his eTalzin from dying from the 1x from BT. Really well played there by Nick to maximize his dice. And Drew's deck is playing a lot like eTalzin Commandos right now. Just paper cuts everywhere. 1, 1, 1, 1. Nick not getting a lot of value off of this force illusion. So with the board state showing currently, I don't think Drew can get a kill this round. Yeah, so I think the max he can do here, he's going to take 2 indirect on the illusion. That'll leave him 6 indirect plus the 1 melee from BT.
Two cards, yep.
No, it looks like his max damage right now would kill one of Nick's characters of Nick's choice based on the indirect and leave his other character at 1 health. That's going to be really hard for Nick to deal with because he's got to do 7 damage next round.
And which character would Nick choose to
I
keep
assume
on
it'd
the
be
board?
Dooku just because it's the higher damage output character. But if Nick needs to do 7 and Dooku's max is only 6 without an upgrade, this is going to be really hard for Nick to win. I think this is pretty all but game for Drew.
All right, so 2 indirects taken, Force Illusions triggered. Got rid of a crystal ball. And that one.
Unyielding's a big one, although the illusion's gone, so I'm not going to have a ton of value. That would have been nice for Nick to have prior to this round. Yeah, I think we're going to see game 1 going over to Drew here. On Nick's battlefield choice, that's really, really rough. Oh no, we have the claim. I totally forgot about the claim. The claim will keep Nick's characters alive. So that battlefield coming in clutch. I think he's choosing here what he wants to do. He wants to claim now and get rid of that focus and make Drew roll into it. I think that's probably the best play.
Oh, there goes the focus. Yep. All right.
All right, so Nick will survive. Unless Drew rolls into a miracle 3-for-1 on BT. Nick will have both characters going into the next round, which leaves him a chance.
So 1 indirect.
You can put that into Dooku, leaving Dooku at 3 health, eTalzin currently at 2 health. We'll see if Nick can pull this out. It's going to take a lot of really good rolls. Both pod racers are on the board, so there's no ambush shenanigans with the Hailfire and BT activation that he can pull off. Most he can do is just 1 indirect right now on an action. Choosing to go with the damage on Aphra over the force speed, which makes sense, and 6 from Dooku still wouldn't be enough. Be really interesting to see what cards Nick has in his hand. I think he's really looking for another all-in. He does have a force illusion, and it looks like a bunch of removal. I don't see...
Deflect.
I think there's an overconfidence, a spell of removal. It's hard to see. I didn't see any unyieldings or all-ins. And I don't think there's any weapons, so he's going to have to do it with his character dice. It's really going to come down to Drew not having any removal. What just happened? Relentless Pursuit. Yep, that's what we were talking about last round. There we go. That's 100% going to be game over. Move 2 damage from eTalzin over to Dooku, who's at 2 health. Kills the Dooku before he's able to activate. There's no way Nick's gonna be able to come back from that. He should just concede at this point. Move to game 2.
Yeah, the game that was going pretty quickly is now already just about 30 minutes in.
Yeah, what a draw for Drew there. His 1-of in his deck found it, and that was exactly what he needed. He was in a very dominant position, but that card absolutely just locked it up for him. There's lethal and eTalzin. Nick choosing to play this out, not giving up.
He sees a way. Maybe.
He's the only one.
In his mind's eye.
You know, there's reasons to play stuff out even when you think that the situation's dire for sure. He could be formulating a game plan and what he wants to do next round. Stressing the other opponent out. It's now been 30 minutes in this game, so we have just over an hour left. But yeah, this is gonna be tough for him to come back. Although rolls like that'll do it.
Yep.
That gives you a little bit of hope.
Snoke not rolling at any focuses. We'll make it all a dice roll at this point in time.
eTalzin not helping out there.
Oh, well, that's good. That's a thing.
Feel your anger. All right, he's trying. That's what you do with an all removal hand. You want to go check? We're running over now to get a check on the other game. We'll give you guys an update. So I'm solo for the moment. I did not see the deflect in hand, so if he has a deflect in hand, that's going to be huge. Pod Racer bounces back to hand, which would be lethal if he had a resource, but he doesn't currently. So I think Nick hitting this discard, trying to hit the Pod Racer would be huge. Pod Racer, 2 indirect. Actually, he has 3 health. I didn't see the shield. Okay, so Pod Racer's not lethal, but Pod Racer into BT activation would be game. So all Drew needs to do is find a resource here. So BT comes out, gonna get 1 more damage in, leaving eTalzin in. I'm not sure why Nick took 2 damage there. Nick had a shield and took 2 damage off the BT activation, which I'm not... There we go. Okay, looks correct now. All right, everybody. Cody took round 1, game 1 of the other match. All right, so I'm not sure how that game ended, but it looks like we are going to go to game 2. Drew takes game number 1 in this top 4 match. Cody up 1-0 in the other top 4 match. Cody is on the same deck that Drew is playing, so we do have a possible mirror match in the finals here. Nick wondering to himself if he switched off the best deck in the meta currently. All right, so shuffling up, going to game 2. That was definitely an upset for Nick on his own battlefield choice. So if we start on Drew's battlefield, it might be even worse for him. It's going to be rough. We'll have to see what Nick can pull out. That was just a lot of damage that was coming out. Yeah, that was game 1. Looks like Cody is in a dominant position in game number 2 in the other top 4. So looks like that one's moving along much faster than this one is. Cody is Manton on the Discords. I believe he's a Northeast local. I'm not sure Manton's gotten his commander title yet, but it definitely was Cody who did that. So we could have an all-jersey final here if Drew and Cody take it down. It's looking that way.
I hear Nick did not win that.
No, he did not. I'm not sure exactly how it ended. I think it just ended up in a scoop. Yeah, we're going on to game number 2 here. It sounded like Cody was in a commanding position in the second game over there.
It's pretty tense. It's
Okay.
pretty close. But Cody does seem to have the edge up currently. But that force illusion on Kylo may save him long enough for Kylo to roll out next turn and do, if he selects correctly, may be able to kill Aphra, and that
Got
may
it.
go to game 3.
Okay. So still pretty close over there in game 2?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it looks like Drew did re-roll into lethal. All right, so this is going to be Nick's battlefield choice again. Be interesting to see if he changes it up, although I think he'll probably choose it to play his own battlefield and just hope that Drew gets a slower start than he did last time. This Aphra deck is really prone to bad draws, and the mulligan is really, really important. Alright, so Nick going with his typical 4 to 5 card mulligan. We'll see what he gets. Still has not seen a force wave in any of these vehicle matchups. I'm a little jealous. Got it in 2 games against me. Yeah, Drew keeping 3 there definitely doesn't look great for Nick. That deck wants really specific cards, so if he's keeping 3, it means he has some good ones.
Like Tech Team.
Tech Team's a really good start. We'll see what he follows that up with. Nick did choose to go with his battlefield, 1 shield on both Snoke and Aphra here.
Okay, binds all things down turn 1 will also help him ramp up, so
Yep, that's not
both may
something
have
we've
a
seen.
pretty active board state here in the next couple turns.
You know, be really interested to see exactly what Drew has to play. He can play a vehicle for... He can't play a 3-cost vehicle, and he does have a Slave 1 and a single Archangel in the deck. He's 1 resource shy of being able to play a Hailfire. There are no reprograms in Drew's deck. The only ramp he has is just the Tech Teams, it looks like.
Mr. Humble Rob, I do believe those Boba Shield tokens are from Armada Games. So you can check out their store. I believe you can still get them. Or they may be on Etsy. You know, whatever. You can check out one or the other. Check out both. Check them all out. Check everybody out.
Alright, so Nick is able to get an Ancient Lightsaber down. That's really good. Rolled into some pretty solid damage.
Mhm.
He is showing the resource on the Ancient to pay. That's going to limit Drew's options for snoking.
Go ahead and pummel all 5 into the Battle Droid to prevent Snokable Droid.
Snokable Droid, although I'd be surprised not to see the Snoke here on Aphra. That'd be a strong 3 discard, leaving Nick with nothing in his hand.
I win today? Lord have mercy. Mark this day in the calendar. Inception says I won.
Whatever Inception says is fact, so he is the
I hope
meme
not,
lord.
because most of the things he says about me, I dislike.
That's what he says about everyone. He is the meme lord of Destiny. You all will bow before him.
Wow. You heard it here, folks.
We're pretty sure he's just an AI that's somehow linked into our Discord. That's the rumor going around right now. No one's really sure. No, I don't think anyone's ever seen him in real life, so, you know, it's possible. All right, Nick deciding to go for Aphra, choosing just to resolve the 2. Okay, so it looks like Drew, he doesn't like to use the resource. So Nick is not able to resolve his 3x. Yeah, Inception's either a 12-year-old who sits at home on his computer all day, or he's an AI that has direct access into the Jiffy mainframe.
All right, taking the BT and direct damage on Battle Droid. Now that that damage off of Dooku is kind of been dealt with, there's a little concern about going ahead and using that as indirect fodder.
Yeah, Nick choosing to still maintain his game plan of going after Aphra. Aphra really does drive this deck between her ramping ability, making the droids cheaper, and her ability to draw cards and really churn through the deck when this is a deck that really needs to see all of its important cards.
Rolling into nothing for the battle droid is somewhat expected, but unfortunate.
Snoke's still available, so that's a big miss. Two focus on Snoke will definitely fix that, but Nick's able to get some resources and threaten some removal still. He still does have the battlefield available to him. I believe Nick played this deck once in Swiss.
Yeah, it's not it sounds like it's well attended, but it is not. I mean, there's a pretty good spread.
Yeah, I know of two players that played it on day one in Swiss. I played both of them. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. I think he played at least one in Swiss. He has not played any so far in the cut.